Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about Pikmin 2 for the GameCube and the Wii. I only played it on the GameCube though, so we'll be talking about it in the context of it being a GameCube game. And boy, oh boy, I have some mixed feelings about this game, and it's very interesting. I don't know. I don't really know where to start with this game. I guess I should probably just. Overall score is very hard to give because I really love the atmosphere and aesthetic of the game, but the gameplay, it's fine. It's literally just fine. It's just something. It's at times I can almost crave it. I can almost be like, oh, I love the idea of commanding an army of little tiny plant dudes, and then they're different colors and navigating, exploring areas, and defeating monsters and growing my population and digging up treasures. It's not bad, and I can be like, the atmosphere combined with that can be a fun experience, a pleasant experience. So I probably made it sound like I had really mixed feelings. It's not. It's overall positive, but I do think it gets. I kind of feel like it gets a bit too much hype. Like when people talk about how great it is, they do talk about the aesthetic, but I hear a lot of people, I don't know, they just talk it up so much, and I don't see, I don't feel like the actual gameplay is all that riveting or engaging. I think it's fine, it's stimulating, but it's not, I'm definitely not coming back because, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand some people coming to the game for that, like, just that I don't know, the satisfying feel of building up your army, exploring new areas, and beating bad guys and taking them, growing more Pikmin and taking up treasures and exploring new areas. I can understand the appeal. I can understand the enjoyment. However, the game gets so much love, and I guess it gets a sizable amount of disdain as well. I know it's not total love, but like I know a lot of people don't like the cave system aspect and how it just goes on and on forever and ever and stuff like that. But I don't hear a lot of people. I don't feel like I hear a lot of people. Maybe I might have heard a few, but like people talking about just the cycle of like primarily the combat, because I feel like that's the biggest aspect of Pikmin. I mean, there's some fun to be had with like finding new treasure and digging it up, or breaking down obstacles and making new paths and just exploring. That there is enjoyment to that, but I don't know, maybe not primarily, but I'd say it's like it's just weird to think that I feel like the combat does not offer all that much, and so that just leaves the exploration and digging up aspect. And I feel like there's probably not a lot of that, or that shouldn't. It feels like that doesn't make up a. I don't know. It feels weird to really like the game for the exploration and the digging up of treasure aspect. And yeah, like, and I'm saying that because like I don't think the combat makes up that much. So in the end, it sort of feels like it's just the exploration. I know that's not it, and the combat does add to it. The game would be considerably worse off without the combat. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like the combat doesn't add much, and so stripping away the combat and just looking at the rest, it doesn't feel like there's much appeal, at least gameplay wise, to the game. And I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on the gameplay, and I still haven't really given it a rating. But I don't know. It's just weird to think about, like, because I don't know, for like a month ago or a few weeks ago, I was getting some strong cravings to play it, and there's just something about the world and the atmosphere and just the look to it that it just, I don't know, it seems kind of unique and it just draws me in. It's sort of like isolated, but also like optimistic and whimsy, but like, I don't know, it's just a mix of like somber, whimsy, not exact, I don't want to say beautiful, but like visually gratifying, I guess, or visually more than just visually appealing. I feel like it's, I don't know. I just kind of immersive. I don't know. It's just such an interesting. I don't know, the world. I get pulled into that world, and I really like the look of things, and I also like the look or the feeling of going into caves and exploring the cave systems and not this isn't talking about the gameplay, just the feel, but I don't know. I really, for some reason, it just draws me in. It's kind of like you and Louie, Olimar and Louie on a mission, with their army of Pikmin, and I don't know. It's just interesting feelings of like kind of being alone and like you're surviving, but I don't know. It's not pessimistic or oppressive like something like Dark Souls 2. Every time I say Dark Souls, I'm primarily meaning Dark Souls 2 or just that's the Soul series in general, but if it makes more sense, I mean Dark Souls 2 because I haven't actually played Dark Souls. So if you hear me say Dark Souls, I mostly mean Dark Souls 2, but I don't know, not always though. Sometimes I'll say Dark Souls and I mean maybe Dark Souls 1. I'll have to clarify that in the future, I guess. But I was talking about oppressiveness, and I feel like, I don't know, I felt like comparing it to Dark Souls 2 because I feel like Dark Souls 2 has a similar vibe of like kind of alone, isolated, but I don't know, aesthetically pulling you in, and it's not exactly oppressive, but it is more oppressive in Dark Souls 2, I think. I'm gonna skip. Sorry, music was getting weird. Yeah, I don't know. I compared to Dark Souls 2 because it also has a similar, it's such a weird feeling and look to describe, but like, yeah, alone, but, and Dark Souls 2 is a bit more, it's a bit more depressing, but not that depressing. Like, Dark Souls 3 is depressing. That's gloomy and maybe not depressing, just anxiety inducing and yeah, gloomy, anxiety inducing, and just all around just kind of fearful, I guess. Not very I guess not very friendly, but Dark Souls 2 isn't totally friendly either, but I don't know. Dark Souls 3, I always feel uncomfortable exploring around. Versus Dark Souls 2, that's not the case. And that's not a negative thing about Dark Souls 3. That's just a way it feels. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just the way the game feels to me. But when I say it feels uncomfortable, I don't mean that in a I think this game, the way it does it is not like feeling uncomfortable in this context is not a bad thing when talking about Dark Souls 3. Like that's a aesthetic feeling sort of thing. It's not a I'm not saying I don't feel good playing the game kind of thing, or I don't know. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Anyways, talking about the Dark Souls 2, it's just and Pikmin 2, but like I don't know, it's just this feeling of like, yeah, you're alone, but you're exploring, and just everything kind of feels neutral, but also like, I say whimsy, and Dark Souls 2 I don't really feel like describing as whimsy, but like, yeah, I'm trying to like say how I feel about it and hope I jumpstart my brain to finish the rest of how I feel about it. Like, yeah, so I keep repeating myself, that's why. But yeah, isolated and neutral and kind of exploration-y, I guess. Like, I say that, what does that even mean? I don't know, just like. And again, yeah, maybe it's just pulling as much as you can from the connotation of the words I'm saying and trying to get a feeling of. And if you played the games, maybe you'll understand a bit. Maybe, I don't even know about that, but yeah, just. Anyways, that was just a side tangent, but yeah, isolated, exploration-y, nice, and kind of comforting, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's just a mix of like. Weird, comforting, mixed with, isolated, and I feel like I'm just changing my words now. I'm contradicting myself, but sort of unfriendly. Maybe just just there's a word, I don't remember. It's like not really caring about you, sort of, but in a I don't know. It's just letting you do what you do, and just kind of it's just kind of letting you exist, sort of thing, and you're free to do what you want with the world, kind of, and just that feeling, that aesthetic. This has nothing to do with the actual gameplay, sort of. But just I don't know, I felt like comparing the vibes because I think it's borderline. I don't know. I'm trying to think of another game that has that sort of vibe of like, I don't know, isolated, sort of uncaring, but also like, I don't know, not. It just sucks me in a like kind of comforting way, and like cozy maybe, and I just want to explore the world more. And it's not just a like, I don't feel like it's just a subjective part of my brain that just enjoys the game for some reason. I don't think I know I'm saying things like, oh, it sucks me in and it feels good, and I don't mean that as like, as that might sound in one way, as like I'm just talking like I like the game, it feels good. I don't mean that. I mean like I'm trying to get at the connotation of these words, I guess. That's more what I'm going for. But I don't know. That's me trying to attempt to understand and describe the aesthetic of Pikmin 2 and why it's enjoyable. But yeah, it's just kind of cozy mixed with unfriendly, I guess, mixed with GameCube whimsy, mixed with, I don't know, just very visually exciting, stimulating, I guess. I don't know. Hope you can pull something from that, but I need water now. Ugh. Yeah. I'm gonna find a different song. I'm getting a little tired of this one. Yeah, so wow, I just kind of dumped a bunch of random stuff. I don't know, that was mostly just aesthetic, but I don't know, I was jumping around a little bit there. What do I feel like? Maybe I should just give it a score at the end of talking, because I feel like I'm just gonna jump around. But yeah, that's aesthetic, and then gameplay, as I said, it never really, because like I do get these urges to play the game, and I think it's primarily just the aesthetic and the atmosphere of the game that I really like. But I don't feel like there's much to the gameplay, but it's just I'm trying to think if it's reasonable just to say it's fine, or it's just kind of bland. I don't know if that's reasonable to say, but I feel like it is. I mean, because it's just you know, kind of maybe dodging enemy attacks, or like, you know, just positioning your Pikmin so they don't get eaten or harmed. Sorry, I had a little burp there. Yeah, gosh, I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, I keep throwing myself off with these side notes. I don't know if that's good to do. Whatever. Yeah, it's just you positioning your Pikmin so they don't die, basically, and you know, throwing them repeatedly on the enemy, or using the stick to like kind of rush them or whatever. But just thinking about it, it doesn't feel like. I mean, there's some engagement or tech skills, I guess, required. You know, maybe you can strategically do things a certain way, because you know they give you Louis and Olimar, so you know you can have like, maybe you lead the guy over with one, and then while he's chasing them, you do something else with the other guy and attack. I don't know. I've never done that, I don't think, but yeah, it's just, I don't feel like the gameplay is all that interesting. Usually it's just stimulating on a pretty mild level, and it works. Like, I still enjoy the game, and I don't know. I'm gonna say right now, it's probably above a 7 out of 10, or 7 out of 10 at least, probably, in terms of the way I feel like it. Because I do want to go back to I do enjoy going back to the game. I don't particularly want to go back to it right now, just because I've lost the mood for it, I guess. But it definitely has a mood that, like, I get the urge to play it every now and then. And yeah, so it's interesting for that. But yeah, so that's fighting enemies. It just doesn't feel particularly, I don't know, all that engaging or worth talking up or worth, I don't know, worth coming back to, I guess. Like, I just don't understand how someone could get that much enjoyment from fighting enemies and stuff. Like, there's some satisfaction with, like, I don't know, killing them and stuff like that, I guess, and I don't know, making progress and clearing out enemies, but it's not that much. And then you have, yeah, digging up treasure, finding new treasure. It's kind of cool, you know. I think it's more of a aesthetic atmosphere kind of thing than a like a really rewarding feeling. I mean, it does feel rewarding, but like, I don't know, it's mildly rewarding. I feel like it's just rewarding in a way that, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't getting you the treasure. I don't know. It's stimulating. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's worth having. But I guess I'm just trying to talk about Pikmin 2 in a way because I feel like it gets a lot of hype. A lot of people talk it up. And I can kind of understand if all that hype and talking up is primarily from the atmosphere and aesthetic of Pikmin 2. I can imagine like that making it pretty good for some people, but I don't know, I have a hard time like people saying that the game is like a 9 out of 10 or something like that, and like primarily that's for the atmosphere. And so if that's not for the atmosphere, then it must be for like, I don't know, gameplay and yeah, that kind of stuff. And I don't feel like there's much to the gameplay. So that's kind of where, yeah, I'm just trying to describe things in a way that I represent why I feel like it doesn't deserve. I just don't I mean, it deserves whatever, you know. I just don't understand the hype all that much. I don't understand if it's primarily aesthetic or if it's primarily gameplay, because I have a hard time imagining it's gameplay. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the way the gameplay is mixed with the atmosphere, and that it's like a chemical reaction that really enhances the atmosphere and aesthetic. When really, you know, if you stripped away the atmosphere and aesthetic, the gameplay is just totally bare bones, not very interesting. But I don't know. I feel like a lot. I don't know. But and it's interesting because I feel like there is potential for the gameplay to be interesting. Like I don't know. I've watched some gameplay videos of people who've like modded the game and like just created some weird challenges for themselves, and they make it look very interesting, tackling problems. And also, there's the Pikmin 2 challenge mode, and I enjoyed that. And that's like, you know, partly aesthetic, I guess, but it's primarily gameplay. I mean, that's largely a gameplay mode, I think. The challenge mode, where it's just a set of missions and they're kind of timed. I enjoyed that. I don't know if that was how much substantially, like if the rest of the game had that, how much more that would improve it. Like, I don't think it was a huge, like, oh my gosh, if the gameplay was like this would be a 9 out of 10. I would understand why people love this game so much. I don't think it would be that, but I did like the challenge mode. I did find the gameplay enjoyable there. And so what made that enjoyable? Was it the fact that it was timed and I really had to manage my Pikmin and like the way I did things better, or like I had to manage the way I did things and make sure I, you know, did them as efficiently as possible? Is that fun? Maybe I could see that being the case, but versus, you know, when you're just in the overworld or in the main story game, I mean, primarily your goal is just, I don't know, my goal is always to like I don't know, I feel bad. I always want to keep my Pikmin alive no matter what, basically. And I do that in the challenge mode too, but I guess I'm more rushed, so I take more chances. So versus in the story mode, maybe I don't do that as much and it takes a slower time, or I don't know, maybe it just doesn't feel as interesting because there is no I don't know, no. It's so weird to describe. I don't really know why I guess it's easier for me to say I don't know why the challenge mode makes me was enjoyable to play versus the story mode. I don't know why I don't enjoy the story mode. I think it's easier to say I think it's easier to say I don't know why I enjoy the challenge mode as opposed to I don't know why I don't enjoy the story mode, if that makes sense. Like because the idea is, you know, I feel like I enjoy the gameplay of the challenge mode, but I'm not sure if how that could be applied to the story mode to make it better. But I don't know. That might have been just a mix of words, and you were just listening to me talk, and it just sounded funny. But I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the gameplay. More water. Yeah. So yeah, that's overall. It's just a very aesthetic heavy, atmosphere heavy game, and yeah. So I think that's a huge drive for why I like it. But gameplay wise, I just don't understand the love, and especially because like feels like gameplay, especially when you get into the caves, gameplay takes a pretty larger focus, and it's just not when it's just room after room of enemies, clearing them out, going forward, or and like usually when you go into the caves, you're either wanting to get through them as fast as possible, or you want to collect the treasure. Usually both, I guess. But in order to collect the treasure, you usually need to defeat all the enemies. And so, or at least like, it seems that's the, yeah, I don't know. I think that's reasonable to say. But and so with that, it's like each room there's treasure usually, and so rather than just going through it all super speedy, you have to like clear out all the enemies, and so that, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that satisfying. It's just a slow trudge that's not very I don't know, it just doesn't require much thought. It just feels like, okay, I'm just gonna try and attack these enemies one by one as safely as possible, and without losing any Pikmin, I guess. And some enemies are interesting or like harder to deal with, but that doesn't seem to be frequently the case. And so that it does make the caves not as exciting, or like, I don't know, I can get bored of the caves. I can get tired of them. Even though I do like the caves. I think it's more of an aesthetic, the vibe, the feel of them. And I wish there was a way, and how it's kind of cool that it's like random every time, sort of. I don't know, actually, no, maybe not. It's been a little bit, it's been like a lot, I guess, since it's been a long while since I played the game, at least like 3 years maybe. But that might be a little long, but at least 2, I think. But yeah, and so I might just be dragging this out. But yeah, that's just I think that's just how I feel about it. I don't really get the hype, but I do enjoy the atmosphere, the aesthetic sucks me in, and yeah, I was gonna say, like, I didn't talk about music in the last review, Custom Robo, and I don't really know how to talk about it here, because I like, I don't know, Custom Robo music wasn't as important there. I love the music in Pikmin 2, but like I don't really know what to say besides anything I have to say about the music. I guess there's some to say. Music is primarily, I don't know, it's enjoyable and fun to listen to, and I really like it, and I'll listen to it while I don't know, it's a soundtrack that I enjoy listening to outside of the game, definitely. So there's that, like that's cool. As for the aesthetic and atmosphere environment, it's interesting. Like, what would the game feel like without the music, and how does the music change it? And generally, I don't know, you get some different vibes. It's all pretty consistent, though. Kind of, sort of. I don't know. There's some, like, definitely weird songs. Gosh, I don't. The song with the water wraith guy, I think that's what his name is, like, unusually spooky. And there are definitely some weird songs, like, gosh, I don't remember what, some weird cave songs. That's all the overworld songs are pretty normal, and that's not bad. Like, I just mean they the average person could listen to them and not be weirded out, versus some of the cave songs are a little interesting. I like it. I do enjoy it. I don't even know where I was really going with this. I guess how does it add to the atmosphere? How does it change things? I don't know, maybe it just adds a quirkiness element to it, I guess. And maybe I forgot to, I didn't really mention that, but yeah, I guess Pikmin 2 also, like, along with this isolated, but cozy, but also unfriendly, but neutral, but, you know, you want to explore, and it's visually appealing, and all those things. It also has a quirky atmosphere aesthetic to it. And that's in part, like, just the character designs, you know, the designs of monsters, the design of you and the Pikmin, and that sort of thing, and just the context of what you're doing, you know, digging up random treasure. But also you get the music. It can be, I don't know, adds a quirkiness, optimistic. I don't really know if optimistic is whimsy. Adds a quirky, kid-friendly whimsy. Like, the game is unfriendly, kind of. I hope you get the connotation of what I'm saying, because I don't know. My word choice is not great. Exactly. I'm not being very. You might not get the. Someone just listening to this out of context is not going to understand what I'm saying. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe they will. But yeah. Gosh, what was I talking about? Music. It's quirky. Oh, I gotta stretch. It's quirky. Adds to the kid-friendly vibe, kind of. I don't know. I wish there was a better word to describe it as kid-friendly. Is not. Again, just hope you understand the connotation of what I'm going for here when I say these things. Yeah, whimsy, kid-friendly, quirky, and that's kind of adds to that vibe of the game, which it already has without the music, but it's very nice. Yeah, I guess I did manage to talk a little bit about the music, but yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know. The music, I do really enjoy music in games, and it does have a very large role here. I was probably underselling it a bit. I don't know. But I don't know. It's just awkward to talk about because I don't think it feels like it contributes to what's already there, and it does so really well, and that's definitely worth commending. But I don't know how much it changes the score of the game when I think about how great the music is. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it would, but anyways, that was just the last thought about the music, I guess. I don't really know if there's anything else to talk about. I did technically get to 100% of the debt cleared, but I never beat the game, and that's just because it just got a little too repetitive for me, of just like going in the caves, clearing out the monsters, getting the treasure, coming back up, doing the same thing. And yeah, so I just got kind of tired of it. And yeah, it's interesting though, because I do get drawn back into it. I've never actually gone back and played it, but I get the hankering for it sometimes. Yeah, it's very unique. I don't know. I really I'm glad it exists. I feel like it offers something unique that I don't really know where I'd be able to get elsewhere. That being said, I also haven't played Pikmin 1, so maybe Pikmin 1 would offer it, but I don't know. From the videos I've seen of Pikmin 1, I'm not getting that same. It also doesn't help that it looks older, but I don't know. It has a different look and feel to it, I think, from what I've seen. And it doesn't necessarily make it worse. It just makes it not exactly what I don't know. Pikmin 2 has unique value that Pikmin 1 doesn't necessarily have that same unique value. Probably has a different value, but anyways, yeah. So yeah. Closing thoughts. Yeah, Pikmin 2. Really love the atmosphere and aesthetic of the game. That's huge to me. Gameplay. It's just fine. It's enjoyable, kind of. It's stimulating. But it does get repetitive. And yeah. I didn't really talk about any of the I don't know. I don't really know how much detail I should go into with these things. Like if I should really talk about just yeah. I think I was gonna start going on a 5-minute talk about all the different areas and how those are cool and draw you in, but I don't feel like that's necessary. I think I'd just be going into more detail about what I've already said, but I don't even know that it'd be all that interesting. But yeah. So those are my thoughts on Pikmin 2. 7 out of 10 game. Love the atmosphere, aesthetic. Gameplay is okay. I feel like that it doesn't really take it down, but it's not. I don't know. It keeps the game from. I don't know. If the gameplay was better, score would be better. But gameplay, there's not much to it, and so primarily the score is driven by the aesthetic and atmosphere of the game. And I don't really understand why it gets so much hype. Maybe that's me, and I need to do more research into why people like it so much and talk with people. I don't know. Feel free to, if you play Pikmin 2, talk about what you like exactly, or how much you're. I don't know, specifically. I don't. You can say whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I do. I do care about you. Please comment. Just I don't have don't feel like you have to comment based on what I want. Is what I meant when I said don't care. I don't care. I hope you. I just wanted to clarify. You know, when I said I don't care, I didn't mean that I don't care that you comment. I just mean I don't care what you comment about. Is what I meant. Except I guess I would prefer it to be about no, I don't care. Never mind. Yeah. Anyways, I don't care what you comment. I would love a comment. Comment whatever you want. Talk about the game if you want. Talk about. If you do comment, I don't know. I'm going everywhere. If you do decide to comment, it'd be cool. I guess I do have a slight preference, but don't let this deter you. But if you happen to have a hype for the game, you know, explain to me what the hype. I don't know. Yeah, where that hype goes to in the game, how much of it is like atmosphere and aesthetic versus gameplay, I guess, because I feel like a lot of people talk it up and I don't totally understand it. So yeah, anyways, that's it. Really drew out that conclusion, but yep, I guess I'll just stop there.